watch everything, listen to everything. We're not trying to get anybody. We're not trying to call anybody out. We're not trying to create sides. We're not trying to stoke any hatred. Listen to all of it. And if you have any questions, you want to talk to us, email us, comment, whatever. Hope you enjoy. Yeah. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Podcast with not the usual people this time, because it's just me and Jamie.
It is just me and you.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Good.
Good. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm alright.
Yeah. We're recording a flash in the pan podcast.
A retrospective.
A retrospective
if you will.
flash in the pan podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to say who we're talking about?
Talking about Cody Lachey, who we've had on previously.
A few weeks ago now.
Yeah, a few weeks ago. And we talked about writing to serial killers. That's the title. Well, was the title of it.
Yeah. And it's worth the podcast, that episode in particular, is just as much as about. It's like a little segment in it, because we spend quite a lot of time. We don't even in that podcast itself. We don't really talk about it much afterwards.
Not at all.
We more talk about my own personal history and stuff like that.
Because we just said, well, that was mental, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was weird, isn't it?
That's crazy, isn't it?
So on, yeah. But we since found things out, and I'll explain why in a short time period, as short as I can be. We did the podcast. I then sent it to Cody with a thankful email saying, well, here you go. He owes us nothing, but I thought he might want to hear it.
Yeah.
So here you go. I wasn't expecting him to give anything, really. I did say any traffic you can take towards it, that would be great.
Mm-hmm.
But thanks again, here you go. And all he replied back was, can you disable comments on this video?
Which perked interest.
As I get trolls.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. The internet being what it is, I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah, you do get trolls. You have a platform, the internet being what it is. I was like, okay, yeah, here you go. About 36 hours later, 48 hours later, I then put them back up.
Mm. And
almost immediately I got a comment, which you can go see. I'm not going to censor anything. It was there. Asking somebody asked, why didn't you ask Cody about his relation with Trigger Films in 2010 or something like that? And we'll get into this in a bit, into that in particular in a bit, but that then sent me down this rabbit hole of research, looking into different people, different websites, talking to other journalists, almost having advisors on where to look, people who as well. And it turns out certain things that were said aren't necessarily true. And it seems as though, to us, as a podcast, we were almost hijacked to fit a narrative that is made up. So some of his critics would call Cody Lachey a fantasist, a liar, bigoted, and racist. It's up to you to decide yourself. It's found that his name's actually Craig Langley.
Yeah.
He's a deserter from Afghanistan, apparently served 2 whole weeks, offered then threatened to beat up his sergeant battery or whatever, Battery sergeant. Apologies. And then got sent back.
But that was his
own side of it when it got found out. He then said he'd seen action.
Yeah.
On Newsnight in 2011, when Cody Lachey was defending the riots in Manchester and their intentions,
mm-hmm.
he said he was referred to as "you fought for Queen and country." He's made up this narrative, and it's been found out that he lied. And it seems that as though he made up this narrative. Who knows why? But it transpires that he then at least used that narrative to piggyback bigoted, racist views, anti-Muslim views. in relation to Lee Rigby, in relation to Tommy Robinson, and again, I must say, this is still in research. I'm still talking about things I found out. These are not necessarily my views. Although, disclaimer, yeah. But I just want to point that out. Yeah. We'll get to my views in a second. Our views in a second. In relation to Trigger Films, it's found that he was a gay porn star in certain films from 2008 to 2012, research suggests. The films are there.
The only reason we bring that up is just it seems as though he's tried to suppress that.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to. If that's what you do, that's what you do.
Yeah. Whatever.
Okay, I'm not going to shame you on that at all. That's what you do. Okay. It's relevant because that's where our tip off was.
Yeah.
That's where someone said, "Have you looked into that?" We looked into that. Other people looked into it, and it was baggaged up with all this Afghanistan, Bosnia, all the fake things. Tommy Robinson, anti-Muslim. He posed as a picture for a magazine or newspaper. I found screenshots of it, but I can't find the actual journal. So I can't say this as a matter of fact. I take pride in backing up and researching and having my sources clear and being nuanced and being critical. So that as a methodological concern of an area of research, a methodological research. I can barely say that word. People know what I'm on about. Bit of an area for concern, but there you go. It's not watertight, is what I'm saying, of research. But he dressed up as I've seen this picture and I can find it easily, as a Muslim in these, is it khaki? What is it? Camouflage khaki kind of clothing, had these beads, a little hat. He was holding the Quran, and you can see easy Quran for it, And then so we have this stuff. That's him. That is him in those porn films. That is him in those pictures. That is him on Newsnight being referred to as "You fought for Queen and Country." It's all a lie. It's all fabricated. He did sell somebody sold his prison card. I suppose we don't 100% know it's him, but it's implied that it is him. His prison card from, we don't know where, from a prison that he was in. This clearly says Craig Langley and his picture on it. We know that was him.
Yeah.
And then all you have to do is go over to his channel where he does rant about Muslims. He does claim we need to free Tommy Robinson. He claims that whites are going to be the ethnic minority. He claims that the Muslimification, of Britain will be the death of us or whatever, and we'll all start raping and killing women. And it's all just wrong. Where's my laptop? Oh, it's over there, isn't it? Yeah. I want to play a game.
Right.
Yeah. We'll cut this out. So I want to play a game. I'm going to read a passage. Right. It's either from the Quran or from the Bible. Hear me out, guys. This isn't some trying to catch anybody out. So if I said to you, this is a genuine text, as it is, I came not to send peace, but a sword.
Right.
Right? You wouldn't.
I wouldn't know where it's
from. You don't read these
wouldn't...
doctrines. You don't.
Yeah.
But if I said to you, I took that and said, see what this is saying. This is an ancient book, and what this is saying. This is from the Bible, by the way, in Matthew. Yeah. This is in Matthew.
Okay.
And if I said to you, this is why we need to start a war. All these Christians are claiming war on us. They're saying here they're not peaceful. They're going to bring a sword. And then if I then brought up another thing from Matthew, saying, "Away with you, you cursed ones, into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his demons." Now, again, I could fit that narrative. Look, they're not moral. They're here to kill us. They're not peaceful.
Yeah.
You'd say I'm mental.
But it's exactly what they're
That's
doing.
exactly what Muslims do. Even though things like that, not those exact texts, but the point is, and I'm not going to get hypercritical of any religious doctrine. I genuinely believe you have the right to exercise your belief and your religion in peace and in the freedom that you wish to express them. Right. I think there's dangers with fundamentalism and literal translations, so to say, or interpretations of text. But I think genuinely people can believe what they want to believe. And it annoys me, frightens me that these people do this, you know. So things like that, not again, like I said, not those exact quotes from the Bible, but they have been used explicitly to justify totalitarianism, which is like dictatorship amongst nations and whatnot. In places like the Caribbean, there is quite horrific homophobia, which is explained explicitly in Christian fundamentalist terms, but we don't blame Christian fundamentalism for that. Transatlantic slave trade, again, can be explained in totalitarian Christian fundamentalist terms, but most Christians aren't like that. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So why on earth would anybody reasonable, critical, with the ability to actually thinkly, yeah, bloody hell, ironic that, isn't it? Buy into this idea that, like Cody Lachey says, Islam is this dangerous religion. And I don't want to make this about that, because I could talk about this for a very long time. My only point being is I'm not going to ask a white guy to tell me what Muslim is like. Mm-hmm. What it's like to be Muslim, rather, or what Islam is like. I'm going to ask them, a Muslim man, a Muslim woman, them as a community, them as an organized family, a religious family. I'm going to ask them, because I don't know what it's like to be, say, a Korean woman.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask a Korean woman. I'm not going to ask a white guy, or in particular Cody Lachey, Craig Langley, what it's like being Muslims. I'm going to ask them their intentions, because I think you'll find a big old percentage of Muslims in this country don't care, you know, like Christians. The whole point of that little game of pulling out these quotes, I could do that with Christians, but we don't. Why do we not do that? Oh, because the perception is that Christians are fine. In the Bible and the Quran, they both talk about Jesus. They both talk about Mary, the angel Gabriel. They both all talk about Noah. These both doctrines come from the exact same place. They were, the Bible was originally in Arabic and written in Arabic, and they share a lot of cultural things. And then even then, in Christian fundamentalist terms, the Roman Empire declared this country, the Roman Empire, which included this country, as Christian, and a lot of things happened. Organized missionaries went out and explained this horrific homophobia around the world, etc., etc., etc. I'm not 100% qualified on this at all. I've just read, and no. The only point I'm making is that I cannot speak on behalf of these people because I don't know what it's like. Yeah. And I'm pointing out the whole inaccuracy. And I'm also pointing out the fact that they have these hang-ups because they're racist. Yes, they play this card of what race is Islam? Yes, very well done. But you're making it a race card by saying white people are under threat. Yeah. You know, and what you're doing is you're fitting an agenda. You're fitting your racist agenda. You're saying Muslims are brown with a beard, you know. Even bending truths of statistics. So I kind of wish I studied this. It's not my area of study at all, but I wish it was, and I might just go study it. But so they bend the statistics saying 84% of grooming gangs in this country are Muslim. Actually, the statistic is 84% are Asian. And that includes places like China, which is quite an atheist country. It has a big Christian community. It has a big Buddhist community, organised and all these things. Like, you're an idiot.
Like you say, it's just fitting.
It's fitting their agenda. This is what I mean.
It's like, look, they're Asian.
Yeah,
that means they're Muslim.
That means this. That bullshit. Means just ask them what they think. Yeah. And I think that's it, really. We're not trying to attack anybody. We're not creating sides. We're, if you forgive the grandiose term, we're reporting the truth. That is it. Yeah. That is it. If people have an issue with that, then so be it. We have our sources, we have our research. I implore you to go do the same. We can back it up. Have all the sources there. If you have any questions, you want to know these sources, let us know. Yep. We can email you them. I have no interest in making this public. I'm not going to fetish this thing of, hey, look at this guy, look at all this, this stuff that he did, all this and this. That's his story to tell. Yeah. The point is, he came on our podcast. He wanted to censor things. He wanted to run away from these things. So be it. I'm sure I could agree with him on some things, but fundamentally I disagree with him, and I think he's a hypocrite. Yeah. And that's my own view. Again, it's the fact that he's saying all of these things is what we have a problem with. Yeah. It's not his past with whatever. Obviously, some of it's a bit questionable, but whatever. Yeah. It is just the fact he's... Like, that's his story to tell. Yeah, exactly. We're not going to tell his story. Because I don't know what it's like to be Cody Lachey. Yeah. So I asked him. We got him on the podcast. Exactly. Simple as. Yeah. I wish he would just express the same respect to other people. Don't talk on behalf of other people to fit your stupid agenda that's just anti-Muslim. That's all it is. Again, in one of his videos, I think I remember him saying... what you were saying earlier is that we'll be wearing burqas and raping women, white women, children. Kids. Yeah. So again, they're making it a race issue. Yeah. So, whatever. Yeah. We're about to hit the 20-minute mark. We didn't really want to go over this. There will be an episode, a normal one, quite a wholesome. Well, McAllister, he's a very nice guy. I don't want to tarnish this episode with him. It's completely separate to things. But the point is that we'll be having an episode. We'll be back to normal form. We hope you tune in. We're not trying to be some social justice warriors. We're not trying to be the police. We're just reporting the truth, I think. Yeah, again. And calling out things where we see it. Yeah. Because he might not be comfortable with the term racist, but he might not be comfortable with the term of he's protecting and defending organised sexual crimes that his friend did, and his associate or whatever did. He wouldn't like that either. And I don't know what it's all like. So don't, because a Muslim person could come along to him, I'm sorry, I'm dragging this out, and say, well, statistically, most paedophiles in this country, in the prison system, are white men. Cody is a white man. He has history defending someone who has been convicted of sexual assault against young boys. So a Muslim guy comes to this, because you're a white guy, that means you're a paedophile. You wouldn't like that. He rightfully so. Yeah. So exactly. Why is it okay for him to do that? Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to preach, but a little bit more consideration here, guys. And girls. There's a lot of nice people out there. There's a lot of good people, a lot of warm people. And that's what we aim for, to understand things. Nuanced and critical thought. And transparency. We don't expect people to tell us everything, but we expect the truth at the very least. Yeah. And that's our kind of integrity. That's at the heart of what we do here. What we're going to continue to do. We're a very small organisation. But I never want to lose that, and that's what we're going to keep doing. Mm-hmm. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening. Let's not make this a witch hunt. there we are. This is our view on it.
Yeah.
We don't control what anybody ever does. So, thank you for joining us. See you again.